Last November, Hawaiian Gardens got 2 new council members in uncontested elections. Michael Gomez and Victor Farfan have been on the job for nearly a year. Who are they? Why did they want to be on the council? And what do they want to accomplish? Well, in this program, we have Council Member Michael Gomez to answer those questions. Council Member Farfan will be on the next program.
Yeah, I was born in Central California in 1950. My parents were migrant workers, and so probably when I was about 5, my father came to the Los Angeles area and he found a job here in Vernon and relocated us into this general area. And I went to school in the ABC school district and graduated from Artesia High School in 1969. And like most of the young men at that time, I got drafted and went into the Army and did a stint in Vietnam. And upon being discharged, again, like most of the guys, you really didn't have, in that day and age, college wasn't something that people thought was reachable. So I assumed I would just find a factory job like my father. I worked there for 30 years, but. So I went to Cerritos College for a few years, and then ended up getting, meeting my wife and getting married, and we ended up purchasing a house here in Hawaiian Gardens, and I've been here for the past 30 years. And I now have 3 kids who've all went to school here in the area and all graduated from Artesia High School. My 2 daughters have master's degrees. They actually, did something with their education, which is more than I did, and I'm very proud of them. Why I wanted to be a council member, I guess, probably for the first 15 years that I lived here in Hawaiian Gardens, like most people, I was just busy working, raising my family, and hadn't thought about other families or public service or any of that nature. But then about 12 or 13 years ago, they opened up a new dancing bar here in Hawaiian Gardens on the corner of Carson and Claretta. And a group of us attended a meeting that was held at Melbourne, of concerned parents. And we decided we wanted to do something to try to get rid of it, because we didn't think it belonged here. So close to it was a block from my house, and it was right down the street from the school. So we decided our part would be picketing. Our protesting would be picketing, and for 3 months, 6 nights a week, we picketed, and through that, I got to meet some really good, honest people here in the city who really wanted to do things for people, and it felt good. That outcome came out good because the courts did close down that business, because there was a church within the boundaries of where they could not be. And anyways, from that, I was asked by former council members, Canada and Abejas, if I would be interested in joining the Public Safety Commission. So I did first of 3 stints there, and then this group who I picketed with against that club, we formed this parent group we called Parents United, and we basically did fundraisers, and we tried to raise money. We participated in a lot of the city events and raise money to give to the underprivileged people who need help. We raised money for a scholarship. We participated 1 year in the city scholarship program. I actually gave money to one of the participants. And so I guess a long way of saying is that it felt good to help other people. And when the opportunity came, as a member, I've been on the Safety Commission again, and I found out that the 2 council members were retiring, that there'd be a position open. I thought, I enjoyed, trying to help people, and I thought, well, this might be an opportunity to, do some type of leadership and direction. I can help more people, and so that's kind of, what my focus is, just trying to see if I can help, and hopefully I can. The biggest surprise to me, being a council member, is probably the amount of time that it takes to do the duties that I'm performing. There's multiple meetings that I attend weekly, and functions that we attend from other cities. We have to do things to create partnerships with other cities. So we're constantly doing things of that nature, and so I just didn't realize, how much time it would take. Like everybody else, from the outside, you just see the council members come and perform at the meetings here, and you think, well, they seem like they got a pretty cushy job, but because you just don't realize the amount of effort, the amount of meetings, time consuming it is. We have agenda packets that we have to study so we can know what's going on and try to lead in the right direction. The toughest part of the job, the toughest part of the job to me, and I think maybe it's because my personality is a little bit more of trying to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and making the correct decisions, is trying to differentiate the good from the bad, or the right from the wrong, on issues that come up. And because you look at things from both sides, and you can see both sides, of an issue, the good points and bad points, and trying to decide, okay, if I vote this way, is it going to be best for the whole community, or if I vote that way, is it best? And so, I think that's probably the toughest part, because I really do feel that it's important that I try to do what's right. And so, obviously, I may not always. So my wife will be the first to tell anyone I'm not perfect. So, but I always try to do the best I can. What I like most about being a council member, I think it's the opportunity that I have to help people. You go around town, and that's one of the things I try to do, is attend as many of the functions in the city as possible, to meet as many people as I can, to find out what their concerns are. And so I have people come up to me who I've never met, and sometimes I get complimentary remarks, which is nice, But it's just being able to help people, because to me that's about the most rewarding thing that anyone can do. The things that we've accomplished in this past year, the first year on the council for me, is we're trying to bring back a pride in the community, and so we've established what we call this teen enrichment program, which is in the process right now, which is a series of workshops for teenagers in the area, and where you have speakers there speak to them on a lot of different issues that can help them as they grow into maturity. Also, I'm proud that we're bringing back the Miss Hawaiian Gardens program. It's been missing for a while, and I've noticed when I've gone to other cities, and they've hosted functions, and they've had the young ladies there representing the city, and there's a pride that goes with it, and also because our city, as in most cities and programs, there's a lot of things for the boys. I mean, they can play all the sports and things, and there's a minimal things that programs that are available just for the girls, and I'm glad that we're bringing that back. The greatest challenge facing the city right now is probably the issues with the gang injunction, because it's a serious issue. People are unfortunately getting injured and killed, through this gang warfare that's going on between the different gangs in the areas, and so we have to find a balance where our police are being proactive and enforcing the laws, and taking care of the people that are non-gang members, and making sure they're safe. At the same time, I know we do receive complaints from people that perhaps the police are a little overhanded, So there's a balance that has to be met, and I think you know, if we can just continue to work with the police and work with the community so that people understand that the police are there as our friends and to help them. You know, they're on our side. I think that will make everything a lot easier. The greatest asset of our city, I think, is probably the financial situation that we've come into because of having the casino in the city. I mean, it was very controversial when they were bringing it in. I for one, was not sure that was a good idea. But once it came and it was here, the best thing that we could do was work with it. And I think, especially in these times when cities all around us are having big problems with their budgets, they're all, running budget deficits right now, and some of them are having to use their cash reserves just to operate their cities for this coming year. And we've been able, and fortunately the council before me has put some money in reserve, and so we have a reserve and we're continuing to grow, and using this money, this income from the casino, which is really the bulk of our income, and it's substantial. We're able to do many projects in the city, as anybody can see as you drive around the city. All the facade renovations that the city's been doing, our new library's coming in, it'll be open very shortly. So I think that, you have to say that that's really been the best boom to the city. If I had to describe myself, that's a tough question. I guess I'm really more of a shy person, quiet person. I think people notice I'm not real loud and real outspoken, but I think that I try to speak up for what's right when I do speak up. And as I've said earlier, I'm really concerned about what's doing right for the community, and so it's hard to, one of the things is I guess in a modest way I feel uncomfortable talking about myself, but I'd like to think that I'm honest and trustworthy, and I try to do what's right, and I think that's the best I can say.